What's going on, everybody? It's the weekend. How are you guys doing? I love you. Got some pretty good comments on the last video, and I thought, let's start with what this last video was about, which was we're the black sheep, right? Highly advanced beings, highly advanced civilizations, the differences between us and them, which is drastic in a way. So, with highly advanced beings and civilizations, the huge difference between them and us, even though they look similar to us, some of them, or a lot of them, humanoid speaking. Hey, Heath, is that they know that there is only one, the law of one. We here on Earth, you guys can't simply grasp that concept that you're not an individual. You're not a male, you're not a female. You consider yourself an individual. And highly advanced beings and those civilizations, it's the law of one. There is only one. When one fails, they all fail. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And they refuse to let anybody fail in highly advanced civilizations. It's unheard of. Everybody is equal. Everybody is one. Here on Earth, we can't seem to grasp that concept. If they don't fit into your circle or your sense of being, they're garbage. They're unworthy of being talked to, treated, having food, having a home, having clothing. They're garbage. And in a highly advanced civilization, that is not acceptable. It is not. Not only that, but I told you guys that they don't wear clothing. They are not ashamed of their bodies. They are not modest. They are not in any way, shape, or form embarrassed about themselves. They think it is beautiful. And therefore, since all is one, they don't hide their bodies. Well, Jason, what about the weather? What's freezing cold here? I told you, with highly advanced beings, they control the weather. Unlike Earth, here you have volcanoes, you have tsunamis, you have hurricanes, you have blizzards. They're in highly advanced beings and civilizations in their worlds, they control their weather. Their thoughts create the reality, right? I'm telling you, you guys misunderstand how powerful you are. They control the weather. Therefore, they don't need to wear clothing. It's all beautiful. It's all warm. It's perfect. All right. So we've got a long way to go. Like I said, we're on the 10-yard line. It's 4th and 90. What are we going to do? Jason, I'm struggling with Christianity experience, Jesus encounters, and spiritually because I'm trying to explain every supernatural experience. No, because I left Christianity when I came back. It was hard for me to leave Christianity, even though I knew the truth. It was still ingrained in me. It was embedded in me for 50 years. All right. It just doesn't leave you. So even after my near-death experience, that was part of my depression. I was struggling with it. And I already knew the truth that Christianity is a massive lie. They're liars, they're deceivers, and they're manipulators of the truth. And in that, they destroyed the truth. They destroyed the Gnostic Gospels of Thomas, Mary Magdalene, even Jesus himself. They wrote Jesus out of the Bible and they put what they wanted in there. And if the scribes that were scribing the Bible from, it was Aramaic and Latin into English, they were exiled, punished, or killed for putting in the truth. So you have to remember, back then the church held the power to kill you. All right. And in fact, that's what happened to Jesus. The church killed Jesus. Jesus was a radical. He was not allowed to teach. So when you're struggling with Christianity, don't get rid of it. It serves no purpose. God does not care about Christianity, does not care about Judaism, Protestantism, Hinduism, any of it. It means nothing except that it pushes you further away from who you are. Okay? So ditch it. Remember who you are. There is only one. Period. There is only one. And remember, I need you to understand this, guys, because I get a lot of things. I'll answer your question in just a minute. Is that, well, how can everybody go to go home when people rape, murder, and child molest? You have to remember what we're in. All right. And this is what Jesus was teaching. This is an illusion. Everybody right now listening to this, 3 people, and who will watch this video later because it's timeless, we are all at home. We are all dreaming. This is a hologram. Earth is a hologram. The universe is a hologram. It does not exist. You are at home right now with God, or God, with Christ, with everybody. This body is an illusion. What you're seeing right now, me talking to you, is an illusion. It's a dream. Nobody has ever been hurt. Nobody will ever be hurt. It's a dream. It's an illusion. Okay? I know, but how do you explain Jesus and Mary appearances nowadays? It's simple. He will appear to those who are asking for him. They exist. It's that simple. I've seen Archangel Michael. How is that possible? I've seen him twice. I've seen my guide, Jeffrey. He's appeared to me. It means you are ascending. You are raising in vibration enough to see them if they appear to you. That's all. It has nothing to do with a religion. You're applying religion to somebody that lived 2 millennia ago. I've seen Archangel Michael twice, right here in my town. He looks just like he does. He's got a square jaw. He didn't have curly hair or anything, but he had a very short beard. He had a very square jaw, very masculine, but very feminine. He was beautiful. He had very short beard. He had a very short, like, bowl haircut. Clothes were ratty and shitty, but I mean, he was beautiful. You don't need a religion to see or to become spiritual, all right? Yes, UFOs are real. We're being watched. That was the whole, hi, Maria. How are you, hon? I'm honored. Yes, I just did a video on, we're the black sheep of the universe. When highly advanced civilizations say somebody steps out of line or is becoming discombobulated somehow, they're shown Earth. Look, is this who you want to be? And they're like, yeah, no, nah, and things go back to normal. Okay, yes, just in the Milky Way galaxy alone, our galaxy, there are hundreds of thousands of civilizations taking place. I am honored that you are lovely, beautiful. Welcome. I'm glad to have you again. Hello, Jason. I am Russian. Well, hello, Russia. How are you? And I find your story fascinating. Thank you for sharing it with us. You are so welcome. And you know what? My love to you from the United States to Russia. I love all of you. I know governments don't see eye to eye. I don't care for governments. I love you. And just because you're Russian means absolutely nothing to me. You are my sister and you are loved. You have to remember, Jesus will not appear to you until you raise your vibration, Heath. Okay? You have to be, Jesus will not come down into this low vibration. Okay? You remember that when we create our bodies, when we come into this suit, we're vibrating way too high. I mean, we're vibrating at a really high level. When we lower our vibration, we begin to create mass that you see, mass. Thus, We begin to create our body. So when mom and dad mate, right, and the egg becomes fertilized, the ego, the mind is your ego, remember? And the ego is what? A false belief in your identity. You think you're a man. You think you're a woman. That's the ego. You're not. You're neither. You're nothing. You simply are all that is, all that will ever be. But when you lower your vibration, you begin to create your body. You begin to form mass. That is where your body comes from. So in order for you to reach Jesus, to see the angels that I see, you have to be vibrating very, very high. That's why a lot of people don't like me. Like at work, I have 0 friends at work except for one. We're very close. But other than that, the whole shop does not like me, will not talk to me. Why? They don't like my vibration. I'm vibrating too high for them. They just know they don't like me. They don't know what it is. They just don't like me. They don't have anything to do with me. I'm vibrating too high. Okay? You have to raise your vibration in order to see Jesus. In order for Jesus to come to you and see you, you have to rise, which means you have to change your thoughts. You have to change your energy, your vibration, I mean. Do highly advanced civilizations have government? No, they don't need government. They don't need to be governed. Why? Because they're all one. They will never break the law of one, ever. Okay? So they don't need governments. They don't need to be governed. They don't need politics. They take care of each other. They take care of everything. They take care of their planet. They take care of their offspring. They don't rape their offspring. They don't beat their offspring. Their offspring are highly cherished and loved. How can I achieve high vibration? You have to change your thoughts. You have to change your thoughts into that of love and forgiveness. No matter who has hurt you or how they've hurt you. Remember, they never have hurt you because you're not really here. This is an illusion. Okay? So you have to change your thoughts and live in the moment of love. Live right now. No matter if your bank account says 0 or below 0, like mine does right now, I tell myself I'm highly abundant. I'm wealthy. I'm rich. Even though I'm $60 in the hole, I'm still wealthy. You have to change your subconscious mind. And that is when you start to raise your vibration. You live in love all the time, no matter what is happening to you, no matter where you are. You love one another and you forgive one another. Now, my government, hon, would tell me to hate you because you're Russian, right? Russians are bad. That's what my government says about you. Your government says the same thing about my government and our people, right? Well, you should know that that is absolutely absurd. That I would love to go to Russia and sit down with you and try your, your food and see your culture and be with you. But, most of your, governments hate each other. Therefore, we should hate you. So, but that's how you change your vibration, change your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality. All right? If everyone is one, does that include? There are no murderers, rapists. I mean, you keep asking me that. There are no murderers and rapists. It's a dream. We're all at home. You're dreaming this. It's an illusion. All right? If there really are a false God that controls this world, what? Is there really a false God that controls this world? No. We are all God. All right? You're not doing God's will. I'm doing God's will. 99.8% of the world is doing, or God is doing your will. If you want to go out and hurt someone, go out and hurt someone. You have free will. I choose love. I choose forgiveness. Even if you come up and punch me and hit me, I'm going to back away and say, hey, man, I'm sorry. I love you. Whatever I've done, I'm sorry, and move on. But you're so worried about somebody being a rapist and a murderer. Adolf Hitler is home. Okay? Reinhard Heydrich is home. Himmler is at home. Jeffrey Dahmer is at home. Ed Gein is at home. John Wayne Gacy is at home. Okay? World War III starts and right around that time, yes, if we don't change, if we don't learn to love, it's going to happen. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that it doesn't need to, that this is simply a dream. What you're witnessing me talking to you is you dreaming at home. When you wake up, your body, this illusion dies, right? When what does it do? The mass decays. It's not real. It's unreal. It's going to start in the East. One of two things is going to happen. Another country is going to invade another country, and thus, just like World War II, it's going to happen. Or a natural disaster, which is what I really think is going to happen, and the world is going to fight over the last of the natural resources. And then, as I said, we all die. Why don't our higher selves? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk to you guys. You're on the right path, Heath. Another country is going to invade China. Basically, North Korea and South Korea are going to become one. Okay? So Korea is going to be united again. And then Korea is going to attack China. And then we all get involved. And it'll be a non-nuclear war, but the United States will back Korea, so will Great Britain, so will, and then Russia will go with China and all the communists. It's just going to be, and then it's just basically going to be a global war that will destroy the world, meaning its resources and stuff. So, and then, the war will last 7 years. And then after that is when, after we've decimated our food supply, our water supply, our bodies need to eat. With no food or drinkable water, the inevitable outcome in the next 30 to 40 years afterwards, we all die. It's that simple. So, and the conflict that is arising out there in North Korea and China, it's going to happen very soon. So, we need to stop this. It's just going to happen if we don't learn to love one another. How can I hate somebody in Russia? Right? How can I hate somebody in Japan? How can I hate somebody in Africa? Those people are me. You guys are me. I am you. When I told you in my near-death experience, I was one with everything. That includes all of you. To say that I'm an American is blasphemy. Because then that says I'm not who this beautiful person in Russia, I think it's Tessa. Yeah, Tessa. To say that I'm an American differentiates me from Tessa, who is in Russia. That's insane. It's absurd. I can't say that I'm an American because that excludes the rest of the world. All what I can say is that I was born in the West, in this Western civilization. That I can say. But to say that I'm an American is ludicrous because I'm not. I'm all of you. You are all of me. I'm no different than somebody in Africa. I'm no different than somebody in China. I'm no different than somebody in Japan or down under or the Netherlands or wherever, Great Britain. I'm all of you. You are me. I am you. We are all God. We just need to get our shit straight. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that what you're experiencing right now, all of it is an illusion. When you look up in the night sky and you see all the stars and you see this and you see that, the Big Dipper, it's not there. You're looking at the past. You're looking at your past lives, your past everything. But show me the past. Show me an hour before you got on here tonight. You can't. It doesn't exist. Just like when you look up into the night sky, it does not exist. It's gone. There is no sun. There is no moon. There is no stars. This earth that we're on, when you wake up and see it every day, it's an illusion. It's like when you see somebody walking in the desert and you see a mirage and they keep going after it, right? I'll get there, I'll be okay. I'll get there, I'll be okay. And then they die of thirst. Why? There's nothing there. You're chasing rabbits here, everybody. You're chasing the wrong thing. It doesn't exist. It's all a dream. So you mean we are our higher self, not separate, because I thought of our higher self as incarnate part of us that guides us. No. Hitler could have reincarnated by now, sure. Absolutely. So could have, Himmler. I'm sure they've had several lives or a life or two already, without doubt. So you mean yes, we are our higher selves. Remember what this is. This is nothing more than a suit. We are controlling it from home. We are all home. When you decided to step away from oneness, okay? Remember when I told you where fear and guilt came from? When we stepped away from oneness, I'm going to tell you that right now. When we stepped away from oneness, what happened? Now I just lost my thought. I'm sorry, guys. Wow. Oh my God. I consciousness, right? All of a sudden we became conscious that we are now an individual. And the moment our brain or our consciousness split, right? Home or heaven became a memory. Now we're lost in this psychotic ass fucking dream that we're in. And home became lost to us. Who took over? The ego, the mind. And as our minds split again into different factions, we became further and further immersed in the dream. So that is why we can't remember any of our past lives. We became lost. And our journey on the wheel, remember, like the hamster wheel that I told you? We're on a journey to nowhere. There's nowhere to go. We're already home. There is no place for us to go. When we are done with this journey, our what you call consciousness dissolves into nothing, and you return to oneness, like I explained to you in my near death, right? So when I'm looking at this thing laying on the bed, thank you, I returned. It's like Father nudged me out of my dream, and I woke up for a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm home, right? I knew where I was. I knew who was with me. I knew who Jesus was. I recognized his energy, or his conscious, or his vibration, I should say. Not conscious, because we don't have consciousness at home. Does hypnosis really work to remember? Sometimes if you go to a QHHT, they can hypnotize you and bring that out of you when you're in a deep trance, and you can really enter your subconscious mind. Yes, you can remember past lives, maybe one or two, but you can't really go further than that. JP, is our next life already in a blueprint, or will you're going to create your next life when it's time for you to incarnate again? So when you get up and it's time, you want to come back, and you say, all right, I'm ready to go. That's when you get down with your higher, your overlord and your guides and your archangel, and you review this past life, and then you know what you need to work on and to evolve, and then you create your life. And then when the time is right, you lower your vibration, you create a body, and then boom, you're in it, And I've never done QHHT. I want to do it. I will do it at some point. Our advanced civilizations living in a dream also. Everything that is not of home is a dream. So yes, when you are away from oneness, okay, when you are away from home, heaven, You are in a dream. It's not real. None of this is real. None of it will ever be real. All God wanted to do was experience what he already knows, right? He knows everything there is to know. He knows that because he is the Father. He is God. But it wasn't good enough for God to just know that, right? If I told you without you knowing that sticking your hand on a hot stove hurts, you wouldn't believe me. You would, well, how do you know it hurts? Why? You like a little kid. Why? 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 You always get, the terrible twos. Why does that? Why? Until you stick your hand on the stove, you don't know. So for God to know everything, it wasn't good enough. So like the big ball of cookie dough, right? He created all of us. He split himself into billions of shards, which turns out to be us. We are our Father. Jesus said it. I and the Father are one. So now we, meaning these little balls of not energy, but consciousness, are experiencing everything Father wants or already knows, but he wants to experiment in it. He wants to feel it. And that's where we are. And it's all a dream. It's made up. It's a dream. It's an illusion, just like walking in the desert and you see the mirage. There's an oasis. There's water. I can get it. You keep walking until you fall down dead because nothing was ever there. Well, we're on a journey that leads to nowhere. Except when we've had enough of it, our soul lets go of the body and this thing falls dead. It decays into nothing because it's unreal in the first place. And then we're home. It's that simple. How can I communicate with my guides? Meditation is yes, but meditation is, Tashan, it's very hard, but you have to keep at it. It gets better and better and better. And you have to talk to them in your head when you're quiet, in your zone. Talk to them, say, guides, I'm calling on you. I need your help. Please come to me. Talk to me. They'll give you signs like angel numbers that I did. I'm seeing a lot of different numbers, quadruple sevens and quadruple nines and quadruple zeros and ones. So big things are happening. I told you 2 weeks ago, I came home on a Friday and they messed up my house. So they will communicate with you. They will let you know. But you have to be open to that. And that, again, hon, is raising your vibration. So, but talk to them. Even if it's 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. Talk to them. Jay Tuckwa, hi. Jason, were there other gods before Father? Man, that's a tough question for me to answer. The easiest way for me to answer that is there's someone above Father? Yes. So I cannot get into it. It's way too difficult to explain. When I can get a better understanding of how to communicate that to you, then I can. But for right now, just know that the answer is a yes. There is so much you guys do not know. You have no clue. And I'm trying to do the best I can with you guys because unless you've had a near-death experience, unless you're having the things that are happening to you, that are happening to me, I wouldn't believe it myself. I wouldn't be listening to this if I did not. So, the fact that I have all of you I am beyond grateful. But yes, there is what you would consider somebody higher than God in a way. So that's the best I can answer to you, bud. Why do we all get tired of it between 70 and 120 years? Remember who you are. Your twin flame is you, right? It's your consciousness. The best way to describe a twin flame, we'll get in. All right, let's do this. Let's do soulmates. Soulmates can be male to male, female to female, or female to male. All right. What soulmates are best BFFs, best friends, right? When you're at home and you're hanging out together, you do things together, travel the universe, galaxy, whatever. You're best friends. It's no different from here to there. And you enter each other's lives to help each other evolve. And a lot of our help and understanding is they come in and they will do something really naughty to you. They will hurt you. They might rape you. They might do something to you where now you have the opportunity to, how can I support your channel? How can I support your channel, hon? There's a little heart with a monetary sign in there that you can click on and you can donate to the channel. And I would be most deeply and profoundly grateful. I'm honored. Thank you, hon. And if you want a one-on-one with me, that helps me out even more. That is a paid service where I and you will bond for an hour, and you can ask me anything you want, as personal, as deep as it goes, without having to worry about what other people are seeing here in the chat. So that's what a BFF will do. A BFF will come in, kick in your door, your house door. They'll throw in a couple grenades and they'll blow the roof off, blow the doors and windows out, and you come out smoking, and they challenge you. They challenge you to become better than who you were. No, thank you very much. Thank you. But that's what a BFF will do. Now, a twin flame is your consciousness, and then Father, like when you have identical twins, right? When that egg splits identically. Okay, that's what Father does with that consciousness. Splits it. It's you, but now you're split into a twin. So is pornography low vibration? Yes. Pornography is low vibration. It's run by the ego. It's medieval gratification, right? It's not a way to reach home. It's all run by the ego, which is a low vibration. It's the ego. So try and stay away from it if you can. If you can't, you're not judged for it. But your twin flame then is literally you. Literally you. Like, I'm still all of you, but still I am my own consciousness in the moment right here, in this physical realm, in this dream. But when I return to oneness. So a twin flame is literally your own consciousness split in two. It's your identical twin, hence the twin flame. So she is literally, when we together and we're so compatible and so in tune with one another, that's because she's literally my right side of my brain. She's my divine feminine. I'm her divine masculine. So when we meet each other, it's like, oh, it's like coming home. So, and that's rare. Not many people get those twin flame connections. Marie is one of them. You get that twin flame vibe, and she knows what I'm talking about. And there's generally a big age difference, a good 10 to 12 years or higher. Like, I am older than my twin flame by 12 years. Is there no porn in advance? No. You have to remember, they're not ashamed of their bodies. So they may be in a park with doing whatever, and there may be beings in the park making love, being intimate. They're not embarrassed by it. They're not ashamed by it. It's a part of who they are, just like it is us. But you all feel ashamed and disgusted, and you go hide in a bedroom and shut and lock the door. They don't. If their children walk in on them having sex, they continue to have sex. They don't stop. Their children, oh, mom and dad are being intimate, and it's no big deal. Where here, we're all embarrassed. Oh my God, cover up. And, they walk out and go to the bathroom. They walk out naked. There's no shame in their bodies. So they don't need to have porn. No. Let's see. I must have come from one, because I agree with everything you say, and I have always despised porn. And see, I was, when I told you about who I was, I relied heavily on porn because I was so just blah with everything that I was lost in the dream, man. I was way lost. I was gone, and now I just have no desire for it. I don't want to see it, don't want any part of it. Now, can you create your own with your partner and have fun, and sure, that's fine. But to go to a website now, nah, nope. I'm waiting for my twin flame. So, oh yeah, I got lost in the dream. I thought I was a man. I told you that. Go watch that video when that I did on. Somebody asked me, "Can you talk about who you were, where you came from?" I don't remember the title of it, but you'd have to go back in there where I explained from my early childhood what happened and who I was and things that I've done. Um, yeah, I used pornography my whole life, even when I was married. I didn't care. So I was lost in the dream, way lost. And that's why I told you when I came back from my NDE, I was pissed off. I told you I was lied to, like heavily on everything. Even when I was in the job I told you about, the best part was helping people with their right. Yeah. And that's what it is. You know, when your father looks at you in a relationship, he doesn't care. As long you have to remember, God is an observer in this. All right. He's an observer in everything you do, whether you're in a marriage or a relationship. He's not taking sides, anybody's sides. He's watching. He will tell you what the problem is, what I'm telling you the problem is, right? So if you think that you're supposed to love someone for one person for the rest of your life, he's saying, no, no, no. I never said that. No, that's your society that you built. That's your government that says that. That's your stupid ass religion that says that. I never said that. Okay. So if you're in a relationship and you went out with some friends and you struck up a really good conversation with someone of the opposite sex and you made love that night, is it wrong? Society is going to label you as wrong. God is not. He's going to go, yay. All right. You got to let go of what you got to free your mind. You guys are so lost in the concept of what we've built here in this institution that we've called the United States of government and religion that says all of that. God doesn't. Mm-mm. God holds you to nothing in your marriage. He will tell you why it's failing because the soul doesn't like limitations. Well, I'll get married to you, but I'm not going to do this, 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 and this, and you can't do this, 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 and this. Well, guess what? After 5 years, you're going to start to resent that person. Why? You don't know it. You're just going to end up hating them. But that's your soul saying, nah, I'm not putting on limit. You can't tell me what to say. You cannot tell me what to do. No, I'm not telling you what to do. Right? Soul does not like limitations. We are limitless. We are boundless from bodies, from minds, from egos, from anything. We are everything that has existed. So to put limitations on that is why marriages and relationships fail. How can you improve your health through spiritual methods? When you start to focus in on yourself, you will realize some of the things that you're doing that are unhealthy, which is being in a bad relationship, right? It brings your energy down. Eating unhealthy. You know, if you're a smoker, you'll realize that I'm not going to smoke anymore, or, you know, I'm not going to drink anymore. Like I quit drinking. Never, I was a big drinker, but now, you know, Father despises that. It's called suicide. Basically, when you drink or when you smoke, it's suicide. It's no different than putting a gun to your head or taking a bottle of whole pills, right? You still end up with the same result. You get kidney failure or liver disease from drinking alcohol, and you get cancer from smoking. It may take you 20, 30, 40 years to die from it. It's still suicide. What society has a problem with is how fast. You don't like the gun to the head. Boom, it's over with, right? Well, we can't have that. But as long as you're feeding the wolf with your money for cigarettes and alcohol, that's okay. You can kill yourself that way. That's fine. No problem. But if I pop a bottle of pills or put a 45 to my head and squeeze the trigger, that's somehow wrong. That suicide is not acceptable. So you will see things in your spiritual life that no longer resonate with you, and you will ditch them. You'll just throw them off to the side, like, you know, I quit drinking. I quit watching TV. I only drink water now. Once in a blue moon, I'll drink a soda, and that is just like the cat's meow now. I started eating more and more salads. I told you guys now that I won't eat meat anymore, so that is changing. So when you can really start to focus in on yourself and meditate and feel yourself, you will begin to make those changes within you. And that also includes religion and other things. And you will lose what you call your best friends. You will lose family members. You will lose even your children, possibly. They will not agree with the way you're going. And that's okay. Remember, they're not your children. They're not your husband. They're not your spouse. They're not your parents. They are God too. They are at home. So don't worry about that stuff. I felt so bad last night after a few sips of margaritas, and I'm not a drinker, only well, that's your higher self telling you, come on, we don't do this. I will have, it's okay though. If that's who you are and that's what you wanted to do. But if you're feeling bad or guilty about it, that's your higher self telling you you're out of alignment. And I just won't do that. Okay, but it's weird to know that your wife is cheating on you because we are free. Well, that's your version of, you're not cheating. Remember, it's a dream, it's an illusion. Right? With my twin flame, when we were together for those 2.5 years, right? Even though we were both married, never once did we ever put a limitation on each other. Never once did you say, I don't want you talking to her, or him, her, or vice versa. Ever did we once put limitations on each other. We were comfortable, and it was an absolute trust. There were no limitations ever. I don't care who she went out with. I don't care who she talked to. I don't care how she talked to him. Vice versa. When we were together, it was the most amazing thing that could ever be, other than my NDE. But there were no limitations put on. When we get back together, it will be the same thing. I won't tell her who she can go have sex with, what she can do, how she can do it, who she can talk to, what she can do. And she will put those same things on me, which is nothing. We enjoy being with each other. We don't want any of those other things. We want each other, and that's that. So, and there are no limitations put on it. So, but if she did step out or I did step out, God is not going to say, oh, naughty you. No. If it was mutual and you decided to share bodies and bodily fluids, right on, good for you. You're welcome. Not bad mentally, like nausea, and it just wasn't what usually happens. I guess it's possibly the food. It could be. Who knows? Could have been just a reaction, hon. But so with highly advanced beings and civilizations, right? They don't see, if they're living by the law of one, how do sports fit into that? In sports, there's a winner and there's a loser. That doesn't fly for highly advanced beings and civilizations because we're all one. So for one to win a race goes against the law of one. So they see no need in that. Like our sports, racing, football, basketball, it's absolutely absurd to them. It doesn't fit into their society, So we've got a long way to go. I love my husband. We've been married for 20 years. We overcame so many challenges. We don't need religion to tell me what to do, but our agreement individually included fidelity. That's fine. God doesn't care. If that's how you choose to be. Remember, you came here to work on you. Oh, look at that, Tessa. I am beyond honored. Oh my God. Thank you, honey. God doesn't care. Like I said, he's an observer. He will tell you where you're going wrong and what you need to do to fix it, but he's not going to do it for you. So I'm glad you love your husband. I hope he loves you, right? And if that works for you, then you keep doing you guys. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. This is your life. You came here to work on you, so you do you, and that is beautiful. I'm Good for you. Absolutely. And I mean that in the most loving and honest way, hon. I am glad. And your Father is too. Jesus is too. If you are happy and that is the way you are, and you are content in your life and you are fulfilled and you are in abundance, then you keep doing that. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I've had a lot of questions like that. Like, how did God, I can't read. Sorry, guys, my glasses. How was God created? How was reality? Reality was created when you chose to step away from oneness. You created consciousness. That's when heaven became, or the veil of forgetfulness came, right? Now you're stuck in duality. Now you're stuck in this psychotic dream of consciousness where you can think of something to do. I want to go to the park. I want to go to a show. I want to go to take a bath. You now are consciously aware of your individuality, so to speak. And that is where that came from. That is why you don't remember home. You're stuck in duality, consciousness. Just like you chose to come in here tonight, right? That was a choice. That's because you stepped away from who you were, oneness. That is where you created your body. That's where the ego came from. And the ego will do its level best to keep itself safe and you away from returning home. Because when you return home, the ego dies. Just like in my near-death experience, I had no ego. I was free of ego. I was at peace. I knew where I was. I was home. The ego was no longer there. There was no consciousness anymore. That was gone. So it is, when you can see things for the way they are, for where I see them as, it's every day I wake up and I realize I'm back in the shithole. I'm back in the dream. I'm back in this bullshit. And I'm like, now how can I create the most beautiful, wonderful dream? And that's when I meditate. And that's why I choose to stay in love. And if somebody's wronged me horribly or I'm in a bad mood, I'm going to say, Father, I know I'm in a bad mood. I'm consciously choosing it. I'm trying to get out of it. I'm fully aware that I'm creating this problem and I'll be out of it soon. So when you can realize that level of consciousness, that level of being, that I created it and I'm choosing to have the wonderful dream come in, because what is in front of me is nothing more than illusion. It's not real. It's a dream. So now I'm recreating the dream, which is recreating and reprogramming the subconscious mind. And that you do through forgiveness. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Not that they were nailing him to a cross. They don't remember who they are. So he was saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They don't remember who they are. I forgive them. I know who I am. I am you. Forgiveness is the key, ladies and gentlemen. Forgiveness is the key. What about the 10 Commandments? They don't exist. Period. And if you want to think about the commandments, think about them as commitments. God's commitments to you. All right? Jason, did you have a chance to speak with Jesus? No, I did not have a chance to speak with Jesus. No one spoke to me. I was the one that was communicating through telekinesis, through telepathically. Like when I said I'm home, and then I said, what a beautiful day to die. They were simply thoughts that were spoken. I instantly recognized the energy. I knew it was Father there in the corner the whole time. Well, and then when that other energy showed up at 12 o'clock, I instantly knew it was Yeshua without doubt. I knew who it was. I recognized it instantly. Not the energy, but the consciousness. And I was bestowed even more love. It was in a human way, in a human term, to communicate the amount of love. It would be like somebody doing this to you. It was stifling, and it was as warm as the sun. It would be like if you all of a sudden walked out of an air-conditioned house at 68 degrees and you walked out into Death Valley and it's 120 degrees. That kind of intensity that hit you, that heat, is what was flowing through me. And that was the intensity of the love that I was being bestowed upon from God and from Jesus. It's indescribable. I cannot describe it to you. But it was a knowing beyond knowing. And it was simply the most profound thing that has ever happened to me. It completely changed my life. And when I came back is when I said I was lied to. I was lied to my entire existence. Because in that trillionth of a second, when I said I was one with everything, and I'm not talking just all of you guys, plants, trees, the universe, the dark matter, the dark energy, everything was instantly given to me, the knowledge of everything. And then you come back into this shit ass body, and all of a sudden you're back into this bullshit. And then I knew instantly that the church was lying to me. There's no way I should have been accepted. Okay. Bisexual experiences. I outright rejected the Holy Spirit. Told God that when he took my son, when my son died, that when he was going to send me to hell, that I would meet him down there and I would kill him myself. I said, I'll see you there and I'll fucking kill you. Do you understand me? You hate me that much? Good. When I go there, then I'll kill you there too. Okay. I did everything humanly possible to know that I was going to go to hell. And that is exactly the opposite of what happened. Hell does not exist. Hell is simply a state of mind. Your thoughts can bring you into hell, into this physical realm. So you have felt it. And when you meditate and you go into yourself, you will begin to unlock that love that has been hidden in you. So meditate when you go within, and that's what Jesus was teaching. Heaven is on earth. Heaven is here. Heaven is in this realm. This is how you do it. Jesus was a rebel. He was rebelling against the religious institutions of the time, and he was rebelling against the Roman Empire. He was a rebel, and he was murdered for it. He was not allowed to be teaching what he was teaching. And he was saying, come to me, I will teach you. And people who came to him, the disciples, he said, you go out and heal. I'm going to stay here and work on some things. He sent the disciples out into the nearby towns. And what did they do? The same thing he did. They were healing people. He taught them how to do that. Everything that you have within you is the same as the being you know as Jesus Christ. You are no different. You are Jesus. So all of that is within you, hon. All of that is within you. So you have to do that work. You have to go within. You have to quiet the mind. And when the ego tries to come in and stop you, like I do, I'm going to make a shirt about this. Hey, go fuck off. Get back into your mindset of love and forgiveness. Get into abundance. Get into I love you all. Get into I love myself. Why? I am God. I am beautiful. I am perfect. The I am statements. And the first thing you do is like when you start to meditate, Father, I am activating the I am, the divine I am within me. Because the I am is a statement to the non-physical, to God. Okay, you're asking for some. I am what? I am abundantly wealthy. Now money is going to come pouring in, but you have to believe that. So when you give the I am statement, the whole universe is listening to you. Okay? The whole universe is listening to what's coming. Don't say, I am wanting a loving relationship. Well, now the only thing coming to you is wanting, because you just said, I am wanting. Well, if they're going to keep giving you wanting, then you're going to keep wanting. So you have to be careful. Is when you get the I am, be careful what you say next, because that's what's going to come to you. All right. So you have to do the work. You came here to work on you, Tessa. You came here to work on you. Nobody else, not your husband, not your children, not your parents, not your godparents, nobody. You came here to work on you. Okay. And another thing, don't look at babies as innocent. They are not innocent. Everybody that is listening to me now and everybody that is listening to this video, understand me very clearly. You have murdered people. You have killed people. Not in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes. That is an absolute guarantee. All right? You are not a saint. You may be adorned a saint later on in life or in another incarnation, but you are not innocent. That baby, that newborn, is also not innocent. That is a divine being, a God, coming in here to work on themselves. The only thing they created new was what? A new body. That's it. They are not innocent. All right. And they too came into this physical realm to work on themselves, not you, not anybody else. They came here to work on themselves. Babies are not innocent. Quit treating them like they are just, oh. No, love them, help them, guide them, nurture them. Let them grow up strong. Let them be a free thinker. Don't just let them regurgitate facts. Let them be a free thinker. Let them evolve on their own level of consciousness. Karma? Karma is simply the act of doing. This is our karma right now, all 13 of us, including me, right? This is our karma. We are in the act of talking spiritualities, God, higher advanced beings, higher advanced civilization. This is simply our karma. If you're out robbing a bank, hi, how are you? Welcome. I can't see your whole name there, hon. Let me see. Varina. Hi, Varina. So this is our karma right now. We're talking love. We're talking being in love. We're talking forgiveness. We're talking about spirituality. We're talking about oneness and how to become and how to evolve into a higher evolved society. We are ascending. We are evolving, guys. Make no mistake about that, all right? Some will not. That is their choice. They have free will. If they don't, when the new earth, evolves and everybody dies off of this planet, God will send you to another planet to incarnate into a low vibrational, materialistic world. And you'll have no recollection of earth at all until you go home. So that's your karma, hon. Whatever you're enacted, if you're making love, then that is your karma. If you're at work and you're doing that, that's your karma. When you were on the other side, did you see what the purpose, the purpose of us evolving is to eventually to become enlightened. And when you become enlightened, kind of like an ascended master, okay? So that is your purpose of your soul, is to continuously evolve. You will continuously pick challenges that you need to work on that you didn't complete in this lifetime. Some people call that karma. Well, you got to pick up because you didn't finish with, has nothing to do with it. You just didn't get it done. So as a soul, we're evolving into that enlightenment stage, and we will all be there, guys. We will all get to that point. We're just all doing it at different levels. Some are moving quicker than others, some are not. I told you that I don't have very many lives left. I would say well under 10, maybe six or seven incarnations left. And they will get easier and easier because I'm already way up the ladder, right? So your purpose, I did not get, well, I merged with my higher self, hon. That's how I knew I was home. There was no more consciousness. There was no more ego, right? I became one, right? There was nothing else, no physical realm, no nothing. I was one with Father. I joined oneness, nirvana. So I became the enlightened being that I truly am. Are there more enlightened beings in India? There are enlightened beings. Father has them spread out all over. I'm one. There are others. A lot of those that have had near-death experience that choose to do what I'm doing are messengers, would be not enlightened beings, but because enlightened beings are home, they don't come here anymore. But highly evolved beings, yes, they are amongst us. Because if you look at where we were, right, let's go start at from the beginning of time, all the way up until what, the 1900s, we were still riding horses. You did get to see your higher self? Well done. Beautiful. And she was beautiful beyond words. Yes. What lies on the other side? There are no words to describe who you are. None. There just aren't. It is simply absolutely beautiful. It's ecstasy. Just imagine the most intense and beautiful orgasm you have ever had. Now take that and multiply it by 1,000,000,000,000. So that is the kind of experience or ecstasy that exists consistently on the other side, and beauty. Yeah, I'm good for you, hon. Very good. There are no words to describe the other side. There's just not. This is an archaic, barbaric language. It truly is. It's hideous. There's no way to really describe what that experience is like. It just doesn't exist. I think that planet Earth is a child growing up and maturing and recreating this split realm every day with Father as kids to stay. Planet Earth is simply a hologram. It doesn't exist. It's a dream. The Earth, the universe, the planets, everything, it doesn't exist. Like I said, when you look out into the night sky, there's nothing there. It's the past. There's nothing there. What you're witnessing is the past, and that's all gone. Except you know that when you see the sun in the morning, right? First thing in the morning, that light took 8 minutes to get here. Well, some of those distant galaxies and planets and supernovas and stuff are billions and trillions and trillions and trillions of light years away. That light is still traveling towards us. Doesn't mean what's originally there is there. It's all gone. It's the past. I don't like it when you put down Earth. I'm not putting down the human race, hon. I'm not. I'm just saying what Earth really is, what we really are. We are an illusion. We are dreams. The body isn't real. Jesus showed you that. That was the whole point of the crucifixion, right? He created another body out of what? It's not that the human race is bad. It's not. We're evolving. We're primitive. It's that simple. I mean, I don't like it either, but we are. We are a very primitive species, while the rest of the universe is far ahead of us. It has nothing to do with not loving you. I love all of you. I love me. But it's simply, that's the truth. We're in a dream that the universe is simply made up in our minds. It's a hologram. And while we are in this crazy dream, we need to save this planet. And that's what I'm trying to teach everybody. We need to help the environment. We need to clean the environment. We need to clean our streams, lakes, rivers. We need to clean the oceans. We need to plant trees. We need to stop killing and eating the dead flesh of animals. We need to evolve. And we are. What is the process of ascending? Ascending is simply meaning you're arising in your consciousness. When I went through my ascension 2 years ago, it was brutal. It was very tough. It was very hard on me. It took me about 4 months it was painful for me, very painful. I did a lot of falling down because I was very dizzy. I was throwing up. I told you about the sweats that I was having because your higher self comes down and hovers above you, right? And you are merging into that higher consciousness. But it's very hard on your body because your body is now absorbing higher vibrational light energy, and that goes into your spine, right? Into the back of your head, down your spine. It's absorbing higher amounts of this higher light vibration. And it's painful. For me, it was very painful. It was uncomfortable. Um, let's see. Humans are among many of God's creations. Yes. Things happen for a reason. Agreed. Be it good or bad. I'm all for people growing and learning. Absolutely. We are. We are learning. Absolutely. That is the whole point of me being here too, is to help you learn, to teach you guys how to better access those higher realms and those vibrations. God loves us all unconditionally. There is no doubt about that. I want you all to know that. You are loved more than you could ever possibly know. And your Father is with you, in you, surrounding you every day. So is the Holy Spirit. So is Jesus. You are divinely protected. You are fiercely protected and loved. I want you all to know that. And what I am teaching you is how to access those higher realms, how to become higher evolved beings while we are going through this transitional space right now. Everything that is not of oneness, meaning if you are not at home, which we are right now, but if we are in that split or we have consciousness, it's not real. It's an illusion. It's a dream, right? And these bodies will die. Are that, like when I transitioned home, the consciousness was gone, right? I became one with the Father. It all dies. Means it's not real. Okay. So when you return home, everything that is at home will never die. We are eternal. We have been around for trillions and trillions and trillions of years. When we decide to step into consciousness and into a body, this body will die. When we leave it, it dies. We do not. Our consciousness, or who we are when we return to oneness, we stay there. Yes, even those highly advanced beings, they will reach the end of their adventure, and they will too return to oneness. Absolutely. That is absolutely correct. Anytime you decide to take on consciousness or a body to come into a physical existence, it will die. End of subject. No matter what it is, a plant, a tree, a bird, a dog, a cat, a worm, an ant, a snake, whatever it is not real, and therefore it will die, and that will transition back into oneness. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, one more question, guys. We're over an hour. Thanks for coming in tonight. I love you guys. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful weekend. I truly do. I love you guys. And I'm honored that you're here. Tessa, thank you so much. I am deeply honored, hon. Oh, honey, thank you so much. So what are you talking about, immortality? You are immortal. You are eternal. You will never experience death. Remember, when you experience what you're experiencing here isn't real. So what you consider death is also an illusion, like I've been saying for 3 or 4 years. It's simply a transition back home. So you will never ever in your eternal existence experience what you know as death. Only in this form of consciousness, when you decide to leave, will the body then therefore die and decay. That will experience death. You will not. You will return to oneness. Now, how you return to oneness is, I meant that as death in the, correct. Yes. We are in the 3D. Those higher advanced beings, they're in much higher dimensions, much higher dimensions. They're not in the 3D at all. We are. We're on the, like I said, we're the black sheep. There are a few civilizations that are below us, but right now we're at the bottom, and we need to evolve. And we are. Father knows that. He's watching us. He's loving us, encouraging us. So and we'll get there, guys. We will get there. But I'm trying to do it without violence. I'm trying to do it without the need for World War III to come. Yes, we are revered. When we come home, when we return home, we are revered. Absolutely. Beyond all, like I've said before, all of heaven rejoices in our return home. They are floored at what we put ourselves through and what we are willing to experience for Father, um, on a daily basis, and what we experience here in a life. We are revered. Absolutely correct, without doubt. Can we talk next time about dimensions and how many of them? There are infinite number of dimensions. Absolutely, we can talk more about them. There are dimensions right next to you, above you, going through you, sideways, upside down. They're all over. Hi. And you caught me right when we're leaving, but it's a pleasure. Welcome. Um, is there a blueprint for this planet? No. Remember what this planet is. It's a figment of our imagination. It's a playground that we created so we can come. Remember, it's simply a playground for God, who knows everything but wants to experience it in a non harmful, realistic way, to what I'm saying. So it's an illusion, a dream. So once we got everything, we decided to, when he split himself into billions of pieces, right? Like dropping a glass, we then created the universe. It's that simple. It also explains why the low density of being in the third dimension, cut off from God, is to live as a human and to help. Yeah. Yep. That's why we have these bodies. Even though they're in higher dimensions, other beings, they're vibrating higher, but they just did it. They bypassed this stage already. That's the only difference, guys. They went through this stage and they realized, you know what? No, killing each other doesn't work. Hurting each other doesn't work. Raping each other doesn't work. Having somebody sleeping on the side of the road and then dying because it's cold outside because no one will help them doesn't work. It doesn't work. We're all one, and the law of one will keep them in that. And the law of one is love. Love one another. We are all one. We're all God. And therefore, they choose to live that way. We will get there, guys. But I'm trying to do it in a nonviolent way. And that is why, I am teaching what I am teaching, because, again, after my near death experience, I didn't like being lied to. I was very upset about it. And I want you all to know who you are. Why? Because I love all of you beyond anything. I love you like my own children. No, that love is no different. It's no different than anything. Whether you're Tess, whether you're in Russia, whether you're here in the States, whether you're in Japan, down under, in Australia, it doesn't matter. I love you. No, I do not. Religion divides. Spirituality brings together. God does not like religion. It's kept us from him for millennia. No, not at all. And religion's got to go. Spirituality brings us together. When you can sit there and love one another because we are the same, whether you're in a female body, whether I'm in a male body, I don't see it that way. I see us as exactly equals. You're no different than I am. Because of I believe it does, because of the negativity can teach people to reject all the hate from it. Religion, in my opinion, and I don't want to get into this now because it's the end of the thing, it breeds hate. Christians and Protestants hate each other. No, it does exactly the opposite. It breeds hate. And Jesus was about love. Jesus did not care about him being considered a Jew. It meant nothing to him, and it still does. God didn't care when I got home that, oh, you were a good boy, you were a Christian boy, good for you. No, it means nothing. It needs to be removed from from here. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm over an hour. I love you guys. Tessa, we'll talk about different dimensions next time. All right. I love you guys. You have a, yes, it breeds hate and judgment. And that is exactly it. Thank you, hon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all. Have a blessed weekend, and you take care of yourselves, all right? I love you very much. Bye, guys.